Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here in the Bear Cave with all of you. If you are watching this live, you're watching this on Twitch, why don't throw a Bear Cave emote there in the chat if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, just say hi or say whatever. Hello, Isk, and welcome. Now, right before we begin, Davis in there, Waffles in there. I do want to apologize. This T-shirt is not great for green screen. As you can see, uh, it won't look as bad when we're doing the overhead shot because it'll just fill in these colors as gray, the table color. But I do want to apologize. This is unprofessional. This is like Davis. It is. You're right. This is a green screen masterpiece. You're really getting the background colors. Let's go and look at how I look at with this shirt in the beach. I forgot that with this Windjammer shirt, this pre-stressed Windjammer shirt is not appropriate for streaming with the green screen. I totally forgot. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Uh, it's a great shirt. It's just not right for what we're doing here, as you can see. Um, you might also see the Double X Gundam peeking up right here because I have it standing up right now because I added the big cannons to the back of it so it stands up. So I want to apologize for Saturday. I got a text. It was work related. It was something that I had to take care of right away. Could not let go, so I left the stream early, and I apologize for that. I always do my best to make sure that doesn't happen because sticking with the 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. streaming time Thursdays and Saturdays is something that's important to me because I know that some of y'all carve out your weekend or your work week or whatever around that. The Hollow is forgiving me this time, and I appreciate that. Um, but like I said, I don't like to cancel. I don't like to postpone. I don't like to start late. I don't like to end early. Especially because we were so close to finishing the double X that I was planning on staying later just to barrel through. But unfortunately, obviously that didn't happen. So, let's go to the main feed here. We got our double X. We're using our overhead shot here. Very happy to have that, as you can see. We've got the overhead camera going, which is pretty cool. And yeah, we should be ready to go. Now, Davis, you got pulled into work. Okay. So let's see. Okay. We'll do this quick one here. Thank you, the Hollow. Davis, you got pulled into work and missed the stream. Happy to hear now because since Saturday I've changed jobs to flexibility. That's awesome. Now, Davis, I'm excited for you and your new ability to have a new schedule. That's always exciting. Now, Isk brings up the important thing that I am name dropped in an episode of Reply All podcast, which is about the pizza rat. And that is true. That is real. So as we assemble these pieces of our calendar here, the Davis just subscribed, which is a 6 months in a row. Whoop whoop indeed, my friend. Thank you for your continued support. Very much appreciate it. Now, Pizza Rat. If you don't know, the story of Pizza Rat is that my friend Matt Little and I we were at work late one night at the UCB Theater in the East Village. We had finished up work and we decided we were going to walk together to the L train on the First Avenue stop of the L train. So we get to the First Avenue stop, and then we're walking down the stairs, and I notice and point out a rat trying to drag a slice of pizza up the stairs. And I, make a comment about it, and then Matt whips out his phone and records it. And now the animated GIF you probably saw, and if you watched the video, then you saw, you heard my voice saying, in a bit of a character voice, but mostly my own voice, follow your dreams and get that shit, which I stand by to this day, as my opinion on what that rat should be doing. So that was just like a thing that ended up happening. Matt sent it to Gothamus and Gawker. It blew up. The animated GIF blew up. It became a meme. It became a conspiracy theory, which I am not here for and not interested in, because Pizza Rat is real. It happened. It is real. It is a real experience. Won't you guys like because you were watching? Yes. So we did get a brief write-up in WWE.com because of that. Because what happened was, and we don't talk about it all the time because we maybe shouldn't have been doing it, but whatever. the technical director. We stayed late that Sunday night, and watched a replay on the network of the pay-per-view that had happened that night. So we were there till very late in the morning, because there are a bunch of WWE and wrestling dorks like Matt and myself. So we were there late. We shouldn't have been there that late, but we were there that late because of wrestling. You're not blowing my spot into Davis. We've talked about it. Yeah, we were on WWE because it is a fun anecdote, and because Pizza Rat was so big, they liked to be able to talk about it. But that is my claim to fame of being on a of getting my name on a wrestling website. It's very silly and very strange, and I love it. And yeah, and there's the whole Zardulu thing, which I have my own opinions on, but in general, y'all know me. Y'all know my style. I'm not a liar. Pizza Rat is real, and that's kind of where we'll leave that. So, we've got these cannons here for our double X, these satellite cannons, and part of the idea is that these cannons are powered by satellite dishes built into the double X. So one of the reasons why it would be an X is because you can flip up these things, and then these satellite dishes go like this. Here, goes like this. It's a very cool feature of this kit, and a very weird addition to it. But basically, yeah. So these spawn out, and then this opens, and this opens, and these open, and it collects all this solar energy in space, and then shoots it out of giant cannons. This is the gimmick of the Double X. There's still a couple weapons left to build, but this is the main gimmick and the main showcase of it. I am not Zardulu at all. My opinion, which I've shared, is that Zardulu is a fictional character created by a man named Eric Yearwood. Eric Yearwood is a UCB performer that I know and I like as a person, but I believe that he created Zardulu as a way to increase publicity for his own fake viral videos that he had made in the past. And then he lumped in Pizza Rat because he didn't know me well enough to know that I would fucking hate that he did that. That's my opinion. I have no proof that Zardulu isn't just a weird art person that paid him to do it, but I believe that's actually Eric Yearwood. I've said it before. Anyway, so no, Zardulu would not claim that they're not Zardulu. I don't think. Ugh, whatever. My friend Kurt is kind of obsessed with it, and I hate it. All right. Hi, Mr. Bob. Welcome. So that's the end of we're gonna put this aside. Well, lay it like this, so you can see how rad and cool it is. Let's work on the gun. We've got a gun left to build, the Buster Rifle, and then we've got the shield, which they call the defense plate, which is a weird way to call a shield. We're going to build those two things, and then we'll move on to the heavy arms. Sci-fi weapon concept, giant space lens. Yeah! Smash Mouth, or Johnny. Hello, John. Also, hello, Johnny. And welcome. We got a lot of regulars here. All the regulars are together. I really appreciate that. All we need is Harold. Shout out to Harold. All we need is Harold, and we would have the entire crew. Happy that you all are here. Like I said, we're going to finish up the weapons for this kit, and then we're going to start on the heavy arms, which someone's... Oh, we got here. Harold is hosting. Speaking of Harold... I mentioned Harold's name, and suddenly Harold is hosting. That's hilarious. Waffles, hello. But yeah, this is a really fun crew. I'm happy to have all year on a Thursday night. I thought I might have to miss tomorrow, but everything's worked out, and I won't miss tomorrow. Very happy with that. Oh, we got a Harold H-Bomb raid. Thank you, Harold, and welcome. We'll put this aside because we're going to need more pieces of that soon. But yeah, we're finishing up this kit. I'm happy to get the last pieces we need done with it. F. And I've got the heavy arms stuff all ready to go. Heavy Arms was sent to me by an anonymous person, an individual. I do not know who sent it. Thank you out there if you're watching. Um, but yeah, Heavy Arms came in the mail, so that's what we're going to build next. I did not do a poll. I'm just going to go and build it because that's what we do. F9. Where is F9? F9 seems to be missing. That's F7. F9 is this piece here. Found it. Got it. Did it. Just finished up a stream Runner 3 and the Sushi Strikers demo. That's very cool. Runner 3 looks very fun. I'm not a huge runner person myself, but I understand their appeal. And I know that the Bit Trip Runner series is well liked. It looks very fun. And also, Charles Martinet, I'm not getting into it. That dude is cool. And I support that dude getting his vis-a-vis voiceover work. But I am not going to get into the how Charles pronounces his name, because I don't remember. Oh, that's awesome, Harold. That's very cool. Those of you know, I've sent the kind of the word out that on Monday, my bonus game stream, we'll be doing some Jackbox stuff, but also I'm going to be playing a selection. We'll probably pop around and test out a couple of kind of visual novel style games, and I contacted one of the creators of that game. And they might be in the chat for that. We're going to see. I would be very happy to have a creator in there while we play. So I don't know. We'll see. Schedule permitting, that might happen. And I'm excited about that. Okay. We got we worked during the Monday stream. I'm sorry, Isk. I know it's... The bonus streams are always tough because they're usually in the afternoon because I just don't have another night, I should say, available to stream, which I do apologize about. I do my best to try to accommodate, but there will be an archive up. Yeah, I think, Johnny, I think a visual novel will be fun. I mean, at the very least, I'll be doing the voices, and I think that'll be good. I think that'll be fun, and people will like that because, I'm a pretty good voiceover person, if I do say so myself. So I think that'll be fun. And then also, we'll be able to make some choices, and the audience can, now that we have the low latency stream going, it's a pretty quick turnover. There's very little delay, so you'll be able to pop in and kind of give your opinion and maybe shape, who we're trying to kiss. One of the games is about trying to kiss someone at midnight. So we're going to figure that out. Yeah, Nadavis, I realize since I'm not streaming 60 frames games or whatever, that I can deal with the fact that the quality is down a little bit, but the latency is lower. So I'm trying that out. I think we're going to stick with it because it looks pretty good. But yeah. Okay, so the Hollow. Thought we were going to get into this, but yeah, all right. So... today is, for those of you that are watching later, today is Thursday, and Total Biscuit passed away and of cancer. And it's been pointed out this toxic past, wondering what the thoughts are, timing, bring stuff up like that. So, a thing that there's some layers to it. Obviously, one of the layers is people I know and respect liked him as a person. And that's always tough when someone who is toxic and who is a bandwagoner and who uses their position and doesn't shut down bullshit in their community is also friends with people that you respect. That makes things hard sometimes. You also have to take into account people are people, and they grow and change and have different perspectives. My personal opinion is you don't have to make a comment if you don't want to, good or bad or whatever. I'm not here to tell people not to talk about how they feel and what they feel. I'm not here for that. I In general, I know that that person hurt people that I care about. So, oh, iChief is now following, or sorry, iCheffel, or iChiefy, you're following. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, Davis, I get what you mean. There are a lot of people who are glossing over the hurt and the hate, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the sainthood, remembering people, but also, um, like, I understand why some people don't want to see that tied in with someone's death. Uh, yeah, I think you do have to bring that stuff up. I think it's important. Warrior, hello and welcome. I didn't say hi. Uh, it's, I mean, there's no easy answer. I don't have an easy answer for you. I do think that it's total fair game. When you put your opinions out on the internet, when you stand by your opinions and you double down on those opinions, those are your opinions and they matter and like they exist and they follow you. I think that like I'm not here to say that people can't grow and change and all of that. But yeah, I mean, I didn't want him to die of cancer. I didn't want him to die. I certainly didn't want him to die of cancer. I don't want that to happen. That's not what I'm here for. I don't celebrate. I don't enjoy pain going on to people or anything like that. I'm not here to say anything of that nature. But at the same time, I'm not here to just be like, that didn't happen. Yeah. And it's that thing of like, you look at you do want to see the good in people. And then also there are people who are not being disingenuous because they chose to have their blinders on and they chose to not remember those things or actively engage in those things. So it's like, am I mad that Danny is talking about him? No. Am I mad that Danny continued to engage with him after he revealed himself to be a very toxic person? Yeah. And I've said so much to Danny in person that him performing with and being on the same stage as and podcasts with Total Biscuit really bummed me out. Because that's true. It really did bum me out that he would continue to do that. It hurt. So I'm not like, I don't know. I guess I'm rolling around in circles a little bit on that. But that's my general philosophy is I didn't want him to die, but I'm not here to knight him, you know? Uh, anyone who with him during after a gamer game is also, yeah, Johnny, and I understand where you're coming from in that respect, and I do understand what you mean by that. It's uh, there are people who friendships that I have that don't exist anymore because of association. Um, for better or worse. And I think that's a thing I have to deal with. I uh, I don't like jokes about Milo because Milo sent about trying to really hurt people that I love, not just respect and care about. People that I love have been hurt directly by him. So when people try to downplay that he doesn't mean anything, it pisses me off. And I have one person who has blocked me in all social media that otherwise we were perfectly nice and knew each other forever because he was tired of me telling him not to make jokes about it and make light of it. It's really tough, and I can't necessarily, you know, I don't know. We've all got our breaking points, and I respect that and understand that. Uh, I've certainly got people in my life that I have supported and stood by that have lost me fans and followers, and people have chosen to not be cool with me because of a couple people that I have chosen to stand by. And I understand that, and I wish them well, and I can't begrudge that because there are a few people in your life, there are a few people in my life that I am ride or die with, for better or worse. And sometimes those friendships and relationships have ended. There is someone in the New York comedy community. It's been talked about quite a bit that I'm not going to get into here on this, that I associated with in the past, who turned out to be a sexual predator, and I was more than happy to disassociate that person from my life. There is a person in my personal life that years ago had an accusation leveled against him, and things were settled amicably, and then things came out, because of course they do, and I have stood by that person. And then people have judged me for that, and I understand it. And I don't hold a lot of ill will to them about that, because sometimes you got to stand by people, and you got to stick to your principles. And I am a man of principles. So I can understand and respect why sometimes people are just done. I get it. Yep. Johnny, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I know what you mean. It's and when it comes to comedy and in general, why you see people go out of their way to defend abusers is because it's we live in a culture where that is the easier way than to, we're looking at this Arrested Development article, and because it's easier to find excuses, because the alternative is to look at yourself and to say, did I do anything? No, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything because I didn't need to, because there wasn't a problem. It's an overreaction. It's like everything else. It's stress, and it's a weird work environment, and I'm not a bad person, and I'm not at best just keeping the patriarchy in check. No, coming up with excuses is a tried and true human behavior. Certainly a male behavior, but definitely a human behavior. To just say it's probably nothing, and it's probably an overreaction. It's a bummer. It's a rough one, and it's a tough one. And in some instances, none of it is surprising. You wish it was. I wish that I was surprised that people that I respect weren't just trying to continue to look out for themselves, and had some honesty and earnestness to them, and some integrity. But that's not always the way, unfortunately. All right, so we're almost done here with our kit. I'm going to fold this all up, because it's a lot easier to move this around when it's folded up. We'll go like this. And take this off and go like that. Yeah, I think that comedians that tell it like it is often were very sad and hateful people that got I think Bill Hicks is a brilliant comedian. He was also nasty and mean-spirited. And I think that he was talking about things that people weren't comfortable hearing, and in a lot of ways that was truth to power. in a way that was like very beneficial to society. But then also sometimes he was just nasty to people because he was in a bad mood and he was good at being nasty to people. So I don't know. I am often of two minds of that particular comedian, and I think a lot of times people confuse "tell it like it is" with uh, speak about the ills of society and the woes of society, and instead they're like, say whatever dumb bullshit you want to say, because who cares? I think we're often dealing with that when we think we're talking about truth tellers. All right, so let's put this gun on here, and we're gonna finish up the double X by putting this gun on, and then we'll put the shield on here. And I mean, look, even the best comedians have bad jokes. I've talked about it in the past. I'll probably never stop talking about it. But okay, so we got our shield on here. So we got our shield, we got our blaster, and that is the end of the double X. We will take a photo of this later, after. But yeah, that's it. It's a very cool looking kit. So put that there. Put that there. But yeah, this is a really fantastic kit that I've been sitting on for so long. It never won polls. People weren't voting for it. So finally I just said, I did a quick poll with only two choices, and it won with by one vote. And I'm very happy I got to make it. And that's the thing about X as a series. Not well received. Not even that great. But the Gundam designs are so good. And the double X looks so cool. Like, I want to put this here. Like, look at that art. Look how fucking rad that is. Oh, it's not a great series, but it's a good Gundam. Double X. It's a very fun build. It also came out pretty fast. Oh yeah, Nadavis. And so we'll say this. So we're gonna switch over. I'm gonna do some typing here. I'm gonna try to get people to pop in a little bit. See if people want to pop in and watch us start the next Gundam on our list. But I did want to point out a thing that even John Mulaney, who I love his work. I mean, we're friends, right? I don't see John that often. I don't see his wife that often, but I consider us friends. We've been knowing each other for a very long time. John is a fantastic comedian, but he also has one of the shittiest jokes of all time. On one of his specials, he has a joke that just doesn't sit, and it's weird, and it's about how there couldn't be an all-girl heist because they would just be petty with each other, and it feels so juvenile and shitty, and like the fact that no one in his inner circle was like, don't tell that joke, it's weird and bad. It's like it's the strangest joke, because he also he also talks about like his own weirdness about being in the patriarchy, and how like he's running for a train down a tunnel and a woman is running, and he tells this story and he realizes eventually, it takes him a while to realize, oh, this woman's running away from him because she's scared of him, and he has to be like, but I'm scared of being like, no, I'm the scared one. Like, he doesn't, it just totally goes over his head. And it's a really interesting, good joke, and I really like that joke a lot. So the fact that he's made that kind of joke, which is very like a very honest, interesting take on it, and then he also has a joke where he's just like, "What's up with all these ladies? They can't be friends," and you're like, "What the fuck? What happened? How did that happen?" It's so weird. The running joke, yeah, I think it's great. But like, yeah, the ladies can't be bank robbers because they would be talking too much or whatever, or arguing. It's such a weird joke. All right, so We're going to put that aside. Put there aside. And then here we go. Heavy arms. Let's do it. Put up there. Uh, but yeah, overall, John Mulaney is a fantastic comedian. He's got a joke I hate, but also the fact that he only has one joke that I hate is pretty good, because there are plenty of people that I'm just like, nah. I have not seen any of Carmen Esposito's new material, but she's doing an hour, and whoa boy, that's going to be intense, and I can't wait to see it. Um, her next hour is going to be pretty nuts. Um, all right, so let me just type in here. I'm moving this. Oh no, you can see my keyboard. Oops. And you can see my weird, bad typing on an angle. There it goes. There goes my keyboard. It's gone now. Just want to let people know I'm about to start this heavy arms. I have never built the Bionicles. No. Yeah, no, Davis. I love Carmen as well. She's fantastic. Such a great stand-up comedian, and I'm very excited for her new album. So here's the thing: we've done a lot of the Gundam Wing series. The thing with the heavy arms is it's all about stuff that doesn't necessarily, I don't think, look super great in a kit. I love the colors of this kit. Um, uh, and it's tough because I think the colors are really beautiful. You don't see orange a lot in these kits. I also like that Heavy Arms has Troa, who is like the least like, he's the most like quiet kind of blah character. Has like the machine gun arm Gundam. And I do like that the evolution of this Gundam and the build of this Gundam is uh, just more guns. They just add more guns. And I've always really liked that. That the Endless Waltz version is like 4 guns. We had a little bit of a hiccup here. Hopefully everything's going to be good. We dropped a few frames there. Things went bad. Hopefully things are going to be okay now. So sorry about that. Also, I hit this, which I don't like. Here. There we go. Pardon me. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, there's so many guns on this. And then also, the arm that doesn't have a gun has a knife. Okay. Sure. I do like the juxtaposition between the Death Scythe, which is my favorite Gundam, which is just eventually has like head-mounted guns, but mostly is just a scythe, a beam scythe. And then also the Heavy Arms juxtaposition, which is just so many weapons, just so many missile launchers and machine guns. It's a fun kit. I really enjoy. I'm looking forward to building it, so let's get into it right now. All right. So we need E. Working on the cockpit. Immediately starting with that cockpit. Excited about that. Also, not a lot of rubberized pieces. Not a lot of joints to worry with. It is in many ways a very basic kit. There is some flourishes to it, but it overall is pretty basic. So, but I'm excited to build it because I do think that it's a cool kit. All right, so we're going to pull Troa out of here already. The fact that the arm is literally also very heavy, being a plot point is the best. Yes, Logan, you're not wrong. I think it's a very funny thing that is a plot point. I would say that it is my third favorite. The Endless Waltz version, because I just think it looks so good, it's probably my third favorite Gundam in the Wing series. My favorite being the Death Scythe. All incarnations of the Death Scythe are tied for number 1. Even the Hell Custom, which is just more hell, or more of the hell. Even the second one, Death Scythe Hell, I should say, not the Death Scythe Hell Custom. And then the Epion. We built the Epion. I love the Epion. And that's such a beautiful kit. I was so psyched to build that. That's one of the few kits that I own that I've taken out to kind of mess around with since. Like I've been, every once in a while I'll pull something out to like play with the transition from vehicle mode to Gundam mode. And that's just a really fun kit. I really like. Uh, and I think the Sandrock is at the bottom. We may never, because I don't know if anyone's going to buy that off my wish list, and I don't think I'm ever going to buy that off my wish list. So I don't know if we're ever going to build a Sandrock. I guess at some point we'll have to. We'll have done. We'll have done like everything else, and I guess like at some point, I guess we'll just have to have built that because we'll have run out of wing, and we'll have to do it. But I don't know. There's just nothing cool about the Sandrock. It's just like I don't know. There's nothing exciting or interesting really to me anyway about that kit. So I'm not like jonesing to build it. 24. Maybe I'm giving it not enough of a fair shake. Maybe I should give it a chance, but I don't know. I just don't think it's cool. I just think it's like the weapons aren't that cool, and there's nothing unique or interesting about it. It's pretty blah anyway. Yeah, the Sandrock custom isn't bad, Logan. It's just not great. It's just like kind of low in my priorities. Um, like yeah, it's not a Gundam that I get excited about. Like if it was the next Gundam I was building, I wouldn't be like, hell yeah. I mean, I'm excited because it means I'll be building a kit, but I wouldn't be losing my mind, wishing that it was time to start building. The kit for custom have the cloak. I don't know if it has the cloak. I don't know if there's a is yeah. Uh Warrior. Would I would I build a Bionicle set if someone sent you one? You know what? I'd be up for it. If I here's what I'll tell you. What I will tell you is I will look on Amazon for a Bionicle that speaks to me, and I'll put a couple of them in the wish list. And if someone wants to buy them, they're more than welcome to. I did the same thing with Zords, right? Zoids. We talked about Zoids a bit, and I put a few Zoids on the wish list because they look pretty cool, and I remember building them a long time ago. Uh, so yeah, I will look at a couple Bionicle sets and put a few up. I put up that the Lego Ninja thing. I forget the name of it. I'm gonna look that up right now. Um, that's a shark that transforms. And it's like $100, and I don't think anyone's gonna. Oh, it's the Ninja Go. Um, it's a shark with legs, and it's $99, and I don't expect anyone to buy that for me outside of Steve Lynn, who bought the Perfect Grade kit. I don't expect anyone else to buy that, but I put it up there because I would love to build it. Uh, Ninja Go, yeah. But yeah, I'll put a. I'll go, you know what? I will put a couple of Bionicles up, because that they do seem interesting, and I'm always interested in building stuff. I know that I've done almost exclusively Star Wars Lego kits because those seem to be the kits that people like, and I like building them. Obviously, I did the Ecto 1 as well. That was my first Lego build on the show. So I'm not opposed to doing Lego that isn't Star Wars. It's just that that's where a lot of the interesting kits are these days, and that seems to be the ones that people like to see. All right, so we did our cockpit. We are now going to start building the some of the framework here for the shoulder pieces and the outer part of the chest. This kit is, your standard kit. There's nothing too exciting about it. I am excited to work on it, but, pretty straightforward as far as kits go. Yes, I saw someone. Someone sent me a link that to that tank, and I was like, yeah. I mean, it's expensive, but it looks awesome. I would love to build it. Fine with it. All right, so that goes that like that, and then we do the same thing on the other side. Oh yeah, building Pacific Rim kit, Mr. Bob. Awesome. Yeah, I that's was on my wish list, and I should have just gotten it. Um, the Jurin is the thing that I wish I had pre-ordered. Dragon Ball Z action figure model kit, um, which we might do next. We might do Gohan Super Saiyan 2 is something that could be next. I'm not sure if it will be, but it could be. Say 25. Okay, so it goes there. And all right, let's do these. Yeah, right now, the next time we vote, we'll be voting on. It'll be. Oh, so for those that don't know, at the $10 level on my Patreon, folks get to vote on what I build next. It's a little bonus thing I do for them, and they'll have their choice of a Lego set or uh, a at least one kit, and yeah, there'll be some options for them of what I build next. A model kit and a Gundam Dragon Ball Z model kit. Yeah, there'll be some options for them. This should be pretty cool. All right, so then we want to put these on 25. There's 25. Try to snip this off and not break anything. Always a treat. Let's see what we got going here. You need to get that Pacific Rim kit into Davis. Yeah. I understand that sometimes it is tough to find the time for our hobbies. We get caught up in other stuff, and especially a hobby like this, where you have to really focus on what you're doing because you don't want to mess anything up, can be rough. I've been there. So I understand why sometimes it's just hard to find the energy to do it. Okay, so we want to just trying to make sure I do this right, and then I'm not doing it over and over again. Okay, so this goes like this. This points out. This should be. Sorry if this takes a little while. I'm trying to make sure I do this right so I don't have to do it over again. I think that's right. And it goes like this. Yes, I think I did this right here. All right. Yes. It looks right. And then it opens up some. Nope. Yes. Okay. Nope, I did this wrong. Great. Hey Pat, have you watched the anime Mega Block? So my friend and I gushing about how amazing it is today, and I watched a bit of it. You know what, Davis? I haven't watched it. It didn't necessarily seem like something I would be into. I like the future sports element of it, but I'm not super into boxing anime or sports anime in general. Sports anime as a genre just never really appealed to me. I do like team dynamic stuff, but just, yeah, I'm just not, it doesn't, yeah, I don't know. Um, haven't built a kit since 080 War in the Pocket. Uh, I did watch Ultimate Muscle. So like wrestling, I think I'm a little bit more interested in wrestling over boxing. Like Tiger Mask, I watched a lot of. I never finished it, but I watched a lot of Tiger Mask. Okay, let's try to get this right here. I've got to. I might. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm trying not to fuck this up, because it will just make my life easier if I don't mess it up. All right. So, if it's like this, then it wants to be like this. Then like this. Yes. Okay. I think I got it this time. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I just it just didn't really appeal to me, but it might be something I can check out. Oh, I did want to say for those that were wondering, I am now almost completely done with Sword Art Online 2. I finished season 1. I'm almost done with season 2. I got through the main like part 1 of 2, and now I'm like getting ready for part 2 of 2. And my main takeaway is wow, they doubled down on the bullshit from the first season. Like the not cool part of the first season that everyone was like, that maybe not everyone, but I was like, what the fuck? They were like, well, let's just do more of that. Fuck. Wow. Um, it really is like uncomfortable awfulness in order to make you care more, I guess is what they're trying to do. Trying to make me care more about victory because they're like, well, we'll take it into the real world. And the dude you don't have and you don't give a shit about? Well, it turns out he's a bad. Okay, fine. Ugh, bad taste in my mouth. Uh, I always liked Heavyarms. Tro. It seemed like he listened to Neutral Milk Hotel and the Smiths. Hey, that's not bad. That ain't bad. But yeah. So my overall feeling on season 2, the first half of season 2, I haven't finished the second half of season 2. Um. Uh. My main issue is that I don't care about this gun world. Because one of the things that was interesting about Sword Art Online in the first season was it was an interesting, especially at the time where there weren't so many shows about characters trapped in a video game. It was about the characters and they're dealing with things, but it was also about this world and exploring the world. And the gun game, Gun Gale Online or whatever, doesn't seem interested in its own world. It just seems interested in the competition. And they put a time limit in there, and I understand and all that. Whereas even the elf land that they eventually do find more stuff to do with in the second season, the Elfland stuff at the tail end of the first season, there is interesting world building there. There's no world building in the gun game. It's just Counter Strike, and people are dying. That's all it is, and I'm like, not really appealing to me. Like it was just like kind of a waste. And Logan, you are right. The author isn't necessarily great with female characters. There's some motivation stuff that doesn't make any sense. And I think I've said this before. I don't know. I'm not Japanese. I'm not an expert by any means in their culture. But to me, the justification that it's okay that I have romantic feelings for my brother because it turns out he's not my brother, he's my first cousin, feels weird. That it just feels weird, and I don't know what to make of it or how to deal with that. But that seems like a strange justification. I don't know. And then the second season introduces a new female character, which is fine, and she's a badass, and it's cool, and she has her moments. But I don't know. There's a lot of weirdness with it. My Hero Academia, Phil Glassberg. So, oh yeah, My Hero Academia is great. I've been purposely not watching this season because I want to let episodes to build because I want to really binge watch that show because I really really like it. Um, it's a great show to watch a lot at once. Um, really hate the death of random background characters. Yes. So I think that the the deaths in the first season of Sword Art Online, the first half of the first season, means something. There's a character that commits suicide, and it's a trigger warning on that. There is a character that commits suicide, and it feels powerful and important, um, and like there are stakes to it, and actions of the main character lead to that, and it's a big fucking deal. And then like in Sword Art Online Season 2, the first half, a character is murdered, and we never saw that character, and we don't know anything about him, but he was murdered. Ugh. And you're like, okay, well, fuck. What's happening? Why? Just like, ugh. I don't know. I will say this. Part of Sword Art Online Season 2, there's an element of the main character attempting to at least acknowledge, if not deal with, the trauma that he faced in the first season, which is, I think, incredibly important, not just for narratively. It makes sense that a young man who, in the course of a game, committed murder as a self-defense, um, but who, is dealing with the reality of that. And, it's like it's important for a 17-year-old to start trying to process those things. And the other main character who gets introduced in Season 2 is dealing with her own trauma, and that's interesting, using video games in order to deal with trauma, I think is very interesting. But I think it's not handled particularly well overall. Um, so Logan, I've seen some of Hack. I think the first half of the first season, so I think it's like 14 episodes of Sword Art Online, is good. I think it ramps up very quickly. I think that there's some real heartstrings pulled elements, some real like in your throat. Oh man, um, in the first season, the first 14 episodes, I think is stands on its own as a very good show. Uh, it's got the like strong character. It's got lots of story stuff, a lot of mystery to it, some interesting support characters. It's overall good, and I think it's like a well done beginning of a show. And I think as it goes on, it gets less good. And like I said, I haven't finished Season 2, but I hear the second half of Season 2, there's some cool stuff that goes down. Um, but I have not seen that. Uh, and there's also a few characters that I just can't begin to care about, and that's not good. I should care about them. But I wanted to see what all the fuss was about because I know a lot of people really like that show, so I did want to watch it, and I'm glad I did, even if I didn't love it as much as some other people have loved it. All right, so this doesn't want to go on. Oh, no wonder why. What the? Pieces need to fit together well here, and they're not. I'm gonna see if I can get this together here. Okay, so this is like not connecting right here. This is a bad step if this doesn't work right because these are the arms and the shoulders. So I want to make sure that these all work. So I'm just kind of trying to get all these pieces to connect and play nice. Let's take a moment here. If you're not a subscriber of this stream? Well, you can use your Twitch token. If you have Twitch Prime, because you have Amazon Prime, you get a monthly token. You have to manually do that every month, but you're more than welcome to do that if you want to support me on that, or you could spend $5 and support me here on there. I always love to get new subscribers. You might as well just follow if you don't already, so that way you get and turn your notifications on, so you get notified when it's time for me to go. And it's time to do things here when I'm working on making models and stuff like that. That way you know when the streams are at. You could also support me on Patreon. People get videos early on Patreon. $10 club gets to vote on the kits I build when that comes up, which is pretty cool. $1 gets a monthly Q&A video that no one else gets. You also could buy kits on Amazon. I update this constantly. I'm always trying. I know a few things went off Prime. I try to keep everything on that list on Prime. I'm going to look into maybe adding some new stuff. I always look for new things. So maybe some Bionics will work for there. We could do that. You also could do a one-time tip. All the money from my Ko-Fi goes into me buying kits or equipment. So you could do that. I bought some equipment this year. My new crane arm I bought. The new stand this camera's on I bought. I'm constantly working on things. The green screen, a lot of that stuff is 2018 purchases of my second monitor, all that stuff. And then the last thing that I'll mention is I'm doing a comedy show in June. So I'm trying to get the word out. It's Monday, June 11th, 10:30 p.m. It's late on a Monday. If you're in the New York area and you want to see an awesome show, it's called Queerball. It is an LGBTQ IA plus show. The date is Monday, June 11th at 10:30 p.m. The link for tickets I'll put right there. That show, I am doing a segment on that show where I'm talking about some of the less popular, less talked about letters in the LGBTQ assortment, and specifically where I fall on the line there. Spoiler, the A stands for asexual. The A does not stand for allies. I do not know where that came from, and it's stupid. I'll have something funny to say about that. But, boy oh boy, do I think that's dumb. People trying to tell me the A stands for allies. Allies don't fit in there. Thanks allies, but... Well, so there's this thing where, like, the big debate is queer or questioning. Is Q queer or questioning? Is Q an outdated term? Is gender queer is probably better than intersex, but there's already a G. There's a bunch of debates. It's a lot. But yeah, there are some people that think the A is for allies. And it's real dumb. Believe me, as a person whose letter is not in there, I'm totally fine with it. The A's got to be asexual, because believe me, I'm not looking for the D to get in there because we're a small subset. And then there's the debate on if furries need to be in there. I am of the opinion that yeah, sure, let's put furries in there. But I'm also fine with otherkin, so I know that I am on the outside of a lot of this discussion. In general, I think this is like, yeah, we just got to take care of people and make them feel welcome and look out for each other. But I'm not here to tell people that they do or do not belong in there. I love my ally friends. I oftentimes do refer to myself as an ally because it is easier and because I know that my experiences are very different from other people's experiences, particularly that, I did not and will not ever have it as hard as my gay and lesbian and bisexual and transgender friends and family and loved ones. They're always going to have it harder than me as someone who's demisexual. Because the worst I get is people who don't know what it is. Oh, no, I have to tell people about the thing that I am. But, that's the worst I get out of it. So I'm very lucky. All right, we're going to figure this thing out because right now I may have done these arms wrong still. So right now we're taking apart this kit and we're going to look at this kit and try to get this done right. I'm going to take both these arms off because I think I put these arms on wrong. Or these pieces that will be the shoulder, basically, or the joints here. I believe that I did one of these wrong, and that is causing a problem. Alright, so that seems to be right. And then this goes... Yeah. Alright, so this is like this. And this goes... That. Alright, I think I got this again. We'll see. It doesn't shock me. It sounds like some bullshit. Yeah, but like... Yeah, no, Davis, I do think that a lot of people do mean well, but it's like I have an associate of mine. I would not call her a friend, but we run in the same circles, and she seems to be really psyched about being the straight girl that has lots of gay male friends and is an ally. Her allyship always feels kind of shitty. She's been called out for it as well, so I'm not like here to call her out publicly. That's not my style anyway. But I'm not the first one to be like, "Hey, this feels like you're not too far away from the women that are like my gays." You know, the to use a terrible term. No, to not use a terrible term. You know the term for women that only have male gay friends and call them her gays. You know what terrible term we have for that kind of woman, kind of straight woman. No thanks. I didn't need to say the name of it, and I'm glad I didn't. All right. Okay. Trying to get this all connected here. It's being annoying. All right. So then this goes like this. And yeah, there's a dumb term that in some instances you could say is reclaiming a slur. And I would say this: if a gay gentleman decided that they were going to call their straight female friend this, that's their right. But since I don't need to say it, I'm not going to. I've been trying to get this body right here. This thing is being really annoying. I'm going to admit this is this should all kind of snip together and clip together, and it's not, and that's been frustrating because I can't see why. Might just be part of this kit that is just weird and annoying, but yeah, I mean there are people that want to exclude lots of folks from the conversation, and a lot of it's experience. And then, I mean, bi erasure is a real problem from straight communities and gay communities and allyship communities. And I'm not here to police that. I'm also not here to police people that refer to themselves as queer, which I sometimes do and sometimes don't. I know that my own asexuality is kind of like, it's not asexuality, it's demisexuality, but it's under the umbrella of asexuality. So, like, it's a thing that I deal with. but I'm not here, but I'm like, but it doesn't slow me down. It means that I have to answer the question like, how come you're not seeing anyone? I have to be like, well, it takes a lot for me to want to date someone. And most people just go, okay. At most, I'm a confirmed, for a lot of people's eyes, I am a confirmed bachelor. Or a guy that just like doesn't want to date people. And all of that is fine. And then if it happens that I have that connection with someone, and that person happens to be the same gender identity that I have, then I'll deal with that when the time comes. But right now, that is not the case because there is no one in my life like that. So I'm just a loner. There's a guy that doesn't believe in one night stands and doesn't go to bars to meet people and does online dating for friendship. And is weird. It's real weird. All right, we almost got this. We almost got this done. This has been so annoying. All these pieces need to line up just perfectly, and one of these pieces is not doing it, and it's really annoying me because I just want it to fit. I think I got it. Okay. All right. That should be it. That was really annoying. All right, so then this will slide in like that. Confirmed bachelor is indeed a hell of a term. Good night, Harold. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you later. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hosting, as always. Yeah, confirmed bachelor is not a great turn of phrase. I've never been super into it in general, but that is what some people have decided I am. That don't know my deal or my details. And that's fine. I'm in no rush to have them figure me out. Okay. So I think we're almost. Nope. This is very annoying, and I apologize. This is not a fun part of the build here. Me figuring out why this is so weird. Alright, that's mostly on. I think that's just going to be weird until we get the front part on. But let's try to get the front part on. E, F, and A. Yeah, this is a weird part of the build, and I apologize for that. Is there a letter for someone too lazy to look for love? No, the hall. I don't. Right now, I don't think there is. That mostly is just someone that you know, you may be on the asexual spectrum as well, of someone that does not prioritize romance at all, or sex or relationships. That you put no priority in it, and therefore you're just kind of, it doesn't really mean much. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world to go through all the stuff of trying to find someone. For a lot of people, it's just not a thing that they're interested in. All right. So 25. This is F25 is this piece here. Okay, cool. We're going to work on our front guns here. The front missile launchers, I should say. The chest, which has always been a cool, dumb element of this kit. And then meeting new people, getting to know them, remembering things about them. Yeah, it is a lot. That's a lot. Especially if you're, meeting a lot of people and trying to make a connection with multiple people because you're, seeing what's up and you're in dating mode. It can be a lot. Yeah, it's not an easy thing. Just trying to find companionship in general. It's certainly not a walk in the park. So we're building our chest here. Which we'll put some stuff on. All right. And then we need A23. So I'll be back on Saturday. I did want to mention that my next stream is Saturday, normal time, 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Next Monday from 3:30 to 5:30 is my bonus games stream. It's the monthly stream where I play games with the chat. So we'll play some Jackbox games, which will be very fun and cool. And then, Urban Buddha just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, Urban. Appreciate that very much. Thank you for your support. But yeah, so on Monday from 3:30 Eastern till 5:30 Eastern, I'll be playing some Jackbox games with chat, which are always fun. And then I'll also be playing some visual novels up top. I downloaded a few from Itch that I'm excited to try out. And I played a little bit of one, but mostly I just made sure they worked on my computer. And so I haven't really spent any time with any of them. And because I wanted to save it for the stream. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be cool. All right, so this whole chess piece has been really annoying to put together. And so that has been frustrating. I might, off camera, between now and Saturday, take this all apart and redo it completely and see if I can figure out why it's been weird. But I don't know if I'll actually end up doing that and have the time for that. But it is there is a bulge somewhere in here that makes this not want to connect well, and that is frustrating. I don't know why, but yeah, there is a bulge in this that does not want to connect the things that need to be connected, and that is frustrating. Yeah. Very frustrating. Okay, so it goes like that. It goes in like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what's wrong with this piece here, or what I'm doing wrong, I should say. But it is being pretty frustrating. Oh, have a good night, Warrior. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I apologize that I'm out of sorts here with this kit. It's being pretty frustrating. That's most of it, right? Got quiet there. I apologize for that. Usually I get quiet when things aren't working right. I'm trying to figure it out. But yeah, I'll be back on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, my normal stream time. We'll keep working on the Heavyarms here and keep the build going. And then hopefully I will have some time to kind of redo all the stuff we did here. I apologize that this is being frustrating. It's being very frustrating to me, and I'm a bit of a broken record about it. We're so close to being done with this, but just not doesn't want to just doesn't want to happen. But you can see there's these little slots that will pop in here that will pop open so they can shoot all of the missiles and such. And then this pops open for him to pop out of. I love the orange color. It's such a unique thing. You don't see it a lot. In kits, you see red as an accent, but certainly not as much red as we'll have on this kit. And the orange as well. But yeah. Not sure why this doesn't want to stay together, but it doesn't. We'll deal with it later. I'm going to wrap things up. We got some progress done. Very little, but we got some done. And we'll keep working on it. So thank you for joining me here on the Build with Baer workshop. I will be back on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you don't follow, turn on the notification. Make sure that you're telling people, that, hey, if on Twitter you could retweet when I say, this is what I'm doing in 8 hours, and you can, retweet that to your friends or whatever, or followers or whoever, and let them know. I'm sure there are people out there that don't know that this is a thing that they would like. Lashbrook, hello. But yeah, I mean, there are some folks that probably would enjoy this, that I would love for them to be able to see the streams, and maybe Saturday would be a good time for that. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday or your Friday. For some of you, it is already Friday, so enjoy that. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.